Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another cast, and today we are having a look at Zeke here on the Korean server, and he is playing against T1 Guma Yushi actually on the Ezreal. I believe that we had a game previously where he played together with him, or Pioshik played together with him. I'm not 100% sure. However, today it is going to be the Sylas with first strike, so a little bit of an interesting build? Question mark? And he's going to be playing on teleport against a very, very difficult matchup, in my experience. I've played quite a bit of Talia support and jungle, and I can tell you she's pretty good against champions like Sylas. Now that was mini rework, but it the theme of her still is the same. The interactions and ranges and stuff have changed a little bit, and she has become much more valuable for the middle lane. All right, so let us have a look what the rest of the players have drafted together here. We have a Rumble in the top lane and a Graves in the jungle. Obviously, Zeke on the Sylas. And then we have a Samira and Alistar, pretty hype bot lane. They're facing off against T1 Guma Yushi on the Ezreal, together with a Maokai support. In the mid lane, obviously it is the Talia and then Kindred and Sion as mid and top lane. So this is going to be very interesting how he plays this. The first couple of levels, generally whenever you play versus Sylas, the rule is try to let him push in, as if you don't, he can chase you down, run you down, and make you suffer for a very, very long time. So yeah, I personally always try to manipulate the wave in a way where Sylas is able to take it. Some exceptions is Qmax Victor on Airy. You can usually bully him down to 50% HP already, and then actually bait in the Sylas player. And if you're confident in dodging his chains, you can oftentimes, win the lane, like straight up just win the lane. However, that obviously wouldn't work versus someone like Zeke, who doesn't just miss his chains. You know what I mean? It does work for me in Diamond, but then again, right? Yeah, So we will have a look. You definitely see Talia is respecting him quite a bit. She's playing in her workaround here, threatening the empowered Q. And it seems that Zeke has already achieved a pretty good farm advantage, which is interesting. Ooh, that was a lot of panic out of the Talia. Talia is kind of scared of him. I can't shake the feeling that Talia is actually kind of scared of Zeke, yeah. Yeah, she is. Very interesting. I think I haven't seen a single auto attack onto him, by the way, by her. So she just stays out of range, throws her abilities, and tries to not to die. Okay. I mean, it's a like, oftentimes versus stuff like the Sylas, who snowballs pretty ridiculously fast, it's oftentimes better to give up CS if you're not confident than to die and then just kind of lose the game for everyone. This is better, where you put yourself into the position where, yeah, you're not as strong, but you can let your mid game, for example, carry you, or you can kind of give it over to the team. All right, so he finds an angle here. Very solid trade. Level advantage for the Talia here for the time being, but obviously that will change in a second. And Talia is running low on mana here, so he's kind of trading his HP for her mana out as well, which is very, very favorable for him. So yeah, we'll see what exactly ends up happening here. But so far, I would say it has been looking very, very dominant here, his performance over the Talia. Sylas also puts you into a very, very odd situation where you have to kind of punish him but you can't punish him too much. Sounds weird, but that's exactly how it works. The reason you can't punish him too much is if you walk in too far, he can always win the trade. Kind of depends on your champion. So something like Syndra, for example, right, is a little bit of a different story. Azir, also a little bit of a different story, because Azir can actually win that, but most burst mages struggle, and Talia struggles early on as well. Interesting chain, but he can take the hit here. So this, what he does here is he knows he's going to take a good amount of damage, but he knows that it doesn't matter. As oh, beautiful play by her. As Chovy actually, Chovy? Okay, so Zeka played that so well that I instantly assumed it was Chovy. It makes sense. So actually good play by her, but he that is crazy. His flash was so confident that he would live. That's beautiful, dude. I'm a big fan, and now he has a 10 CS lead, which is like, even if he traded here, this would be kind of favorable. I mean, Graves died, so it's not, it wouldn't have. But like right now, even though Graves died, it's still favorable because Talia got set back so much. And now, I mean, now clearly it is favorable as we picked up a kill onto the Kindred, and we're going to pick up a kill onto the Sign here as well, probably, yeah. Sign goes down, and we go back into the mid lane. And this is already a scary situation, because if Sylas is able to engineer the wave into a position where he gets a recall with Everfrost, where Talia is stuck without it, that's not a good position to be in, trust me. That is not a good position to be in. All right, so he definitely wins that trade. Follow-up trade, not that good for Talia here. Absolutely solid job on the trading here. Beautiful. I'm a big fan. All right, he's actually... Oh, what? He let... So someone like Chovy would have set up a freeze here, I believe. Because he could have gotten much more of an advantage out of this by setting up a freeze. Potentially even zoning away the Talia. So I think that is actually technically a mistake. Although this is also a little bit of a stylistic choice. Because he prefers to push in instead. He prefers to push in instead of setting up a freeze. And now we're going to have to see what exactly this Talia ult can do. But yeah, it's a good Talia ult angle. Lock-in the Kindred with his team, and he picks up a kill onto the Kindred. Beautifully done, and Talia not quick enough to respond. And this is the point, right? He picks up another kill. 300 gold over to him. Guma obviously doing Guma things. But let's see if he does more Guma things. Okay, very close. Guma will live, as Talia will pick up a kill onto the Graves here. Very good Talia ultimate as well. And these players are going head to head. Yeah, I think this is the thing, right? Is like Talia not so confident in her laning. Oh, dude, Gumayushi goes down to the Samira. Very, very close. And with Talia picking up this kill, that's actually kind of a... Nah, it's still a very, very bad situation for her, as he will probably be able to pick up the Everfrost, right? Let me see. So 3 waves, and a kill. Nah, I don't think this is an instant. This is an instant Everfrost. Crazy. Okay. Well, he does pick up an instant Everfrost and boots, actually. Wait. What? Huh? He had 2,300 or something. Everfrost is 1,400, right? I think so, yeah. Wait, that's crazy. Oh my god, yeah. So this is the situation where now the lane is unplayable for someone like Talia, as he can just jump in, Everfrost, Q, and then wait, and then see what happens, what ends up happening. Okay, Talia dies again. I mean, this doesn't even matter. But yeah, the lane is absolutely freaking. Yeah, it's just big pain. Big pain. Ay. Yeah, you do not want that happening. Yeah, let's see if we can kind of salvage this as Talia. Talia also not going for Everfrost. Oh. I mean, she does have a lot of setup for herself, so that's kind of the situation in which you decide. It's so much fun to be a jungler if you have a strong mid laner and support on the enemy team, and they just like run you down the entire time. Oh, I love it, dude. 10 out of 10. Would love to experience again. He has Kindred ult, so he can actually do quite a bit of mischief with that. Kindred ult is pretty good on him. But we'll see what exactly he ends up doing here. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is what I meant by unplayable, but very good flip, actually. Yeah. Talia definitely has a kill angle here. Yeah. She just picks him up. Very sloppy play by Zeka. Kind of limit testing it out there. Obviously, if he managed to connect with his chains and she didn't flip him correctly, that would be still a kill pickup by him, but not like this. Talia, very good matchup. Like, she is very strong against him. The Sylas, the Akali, the Fizz, the Echo. Not so much the Echo. Kinda the Echo. Nah, not really the Echo, honestly. I know, I'm changing my mind a lot here. Shut up. Shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Alright! It is a triple. 6, 1, and 2 for Zeka, as he is a very angry bee. Sure, angry bee. Picks up a beautiful double Q. Sylas, currently the most played mid laner, by the way. I find that very interesting. All right, let's see what he does against, because Maokai and Ezreal are actually pretty tough for him to crack, as Maokai can be a pretty good frontline unless he hits a good ultimate onto Ezreal. But yeah, not even then, I think. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. You don't want to mess with Gumayushi's Ezreal. He will run you around for a while. Alright, so one thing that makes Sylas so difficult is the Q placement, right? So the Qs have to be on point where the chains hit, they deal damage, and then the last explosion of the point where the chains actually meet, that one also has to connect. So it's generally not very easy to play Sylas. Not only because of his all-in type trading, and not only because of his weird combos and the fact that you have to kind of know how to use every single ultimate, especially weave it into abilities and stuff. But it's also the fact that Sylas is just, like his base kit already brings a little bit of difficulty with it, right? Like, when you use the W, for example, is a freaking... That is... I mean, yeah, you can do your PhD thesis on that alone, right? Do you use it when you're low on HP? Do you use it instantly because it has such low cooldown and you can get your passive and you maximize damage? Or do you maximize HP? Do you use it to set up for your E follow-ups, right? So do you do E1, W, and then your chains are kind of guaranteed? Do you use it to force a flash? Don't get me started. You see where I'm going, right? There's a lot that you can obsess about just with his chains, and then his Q, kind of a similar story as well, right? And his E as well, right? Because like the first E usually is very underused, but obviously you can use your E reactionary as well. So good example would be you use your E to dodge like a Victor E, or you use your E to dodge even better like an Akali E, right? And then you flash chain onto her and you kind of pick her up with that. That's for example one of those, right? Where it's like a decent Sylas player, you know, does that, and then like a master Sylas player actually kind of sidesteps the E a little bit, then he starts the dash but into the direction, and then he's still able to catch her with the chains without having to flash. You know, stuff like this. Stuff like this really makes like a lot of impact, or has a lot of impact on the micros. So Sylas, super complicated champion. And then obviously, if you know you're going to get CC'd in a second, you can use your E reactively. Kind of like the Camille buffer that we see a lot, or Viego ultimate buffer, right? So there's a... Yeah, I mean, Sylas is a very complicated champion, right? Something that is very, very difficult, very different from the champions that I usually play. Like Orianna, a little bit more complex on that front than Victor, to be honest, because Victor's W is hands down his most complicated ability. The E is the most skillful, but the W is the most like big brain ability, because you have to predict where the enemy is moving, and not only where they're moving, but where you need them to be stuck, right? So oftentimes chain will just be used to gap close and run at people. Oftentimes Victor W will just be placed to zone people. Like, but it's these masterful players like Zeke that is incredibly good at Sylas, that know how to use these abilities correctly in situations where you would have never... Thank you, Maokai. In situation where you would have never imagined that to be the thought process, right? So yeah, definitely good. And you kind of see him roam around a lot. This is what Sylas wants to do. Sylas is happy to drop down and farm, lose the farm battle, but just skirmish constantly, fight. Yeah, that's very Sylas-esque to do that. We can also talk a little bit about AP and raw AP values versus something, for example, like Lichbane, where you could think that, yeah, Lichbane makes a lot of sense, right? He kind of does E auto tech, W auto tech, E auto tech. Like, you know, he uses his auto techs a decent amount. He has a lot of abilities to proc it off. He has 4 procs without the ultimate. So you could say, like, yeah, Lichbane makes a lot of sense. However, the thing is that Sylas does do very well with AP. So a lot of the time, you just go for the AP scaling instead of the Lichbane effect. A little bit different to something like Victor, for example, who uses his Qs so rapidly and so much that the raw damage value isn't often as useful as the Lichbane proc can be versus like champions that want to fight in close range. For Sylas, it's always pick up more AP over the auto attack procs. So yeah. He will do exactly that. Azuma Yoshi will get himself out. Beautiful Maokai ultimate. And ooh, this is kind of scary, yeah, but he will be able to E out of this, and that is a Maokai going down to him. Sylas is so survivable. It's kind of weird, right? A lot of people call Sylas an assassin, but in my mind, he is not an assassin. He's kind of a brawler. He is kind of just an AP brawler, assassin? Question mark? Like, he's not really an assassin, though, right? It's weird. He's like a fighter, an AP fighter. And there's not a lot of those. Usually AP you find on tanks, and on fighters you find 80 damage, right? But not in this situation. Very interesting. Obviously, he turns into an assassin with like an Akali ult, right? So, yeah, it's just, it's difficult. Also, Sylas, very, very difficult kit to balance. You know, so that's also something. He just got a lot stronger again, just because Cassandra released. And he's being picked over some lesser optimal ultimates. And Cassandra ultimate, very good on Sylas. Kind of a budget Akali ultimate, dare I say. So yeah, Sylas is, if you want a pick that you that you can play like every game, kind of, he for a melee champion, I think this is as good as it gets. Because he has some different max orders, right? You can max W, you can max Q, you can do a split max, which is what most people do, and I would say the better players do a lot, is the max couple points into Q, then max out W, or you know, the other way around. It's all about breakpoints and killing minions. And that's always like dependent on the patches. And I don't really want to go into this kind of stuff right now because we have preseason coming in like in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, which means, you know, whole game is going to change. Breakpoints are going to change. Who knows what they change? I know they're changing jungle quite a bit. Jungle Sylas actually kind of cool. You can do it. I'm a little bit into jungling mid laners because I like mid laners and I'm a mid lane main, but I've been playing a lot of jungle lately to be able to get better at the game, and Sylas pretty cool. All right, I need to cast. You know, I've started doing this kind of podcast style. This kind of podcast style. It's kind of weird, but I'm currently kind of just podcasting League of Legends while watching a replay. I'm not really commentating a lot, but oh, he goes golden last second, dude. Beautiful Talia ultimate, but nah, it's actually not good enough. No, that actually wasn't a optimal Talia ultimate. Ooh, this could actually be a difficult situation here for the red team, yeah, as Samira will be able to live and pick up a kill onto the Sion. Flip onto the Alistar, but Alistar does have his resistances. Ooh, Samira looking for a kill here, and she will pick up a triple kill. What the hell, Samira? Very well done, fatty. What a good player. Nice. I respect it. Very, very well done by her. Actually, I thought that was a little bit of an int when she dashed onto the Talia there, but no. Very, very well judged the situation. Alistar, actually, interestingly enough, maintaining the wave because he was so low. Not a bad idea. And we are going to be moving into the mid lane, it seems. Odd. I mean, we're not really moving into the mid lane because he's probably going to farm the chickens over picking up farm in the mid lane. Ooh, Maokai is on the case. Ooh, Guma, this is not... Oh, Guma. Oh, no. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely not the situation you want to find yourself in. Just used your E right in front of the frickin' Sylas. Everfrost Q. Yeah, Everfrost is just such a staple on Sylas, just because you can set up for your Q and stuff. It's just way too strong. Alright, Talia ultimate. Actually pretty decent. Maokai will not be able to get out. Beautiful buffer on the chain here. Yeah, he gets knocked back, but instantly pulls himself back in. He's gonna jump in, chain onto the Callista, onto the Kindred. He jumps tower aggro just to regain it. Beautiful coordination. As we're just recalling, question mark? We are just recalling, although yeah, okay. Teleports back on to the turret, and I think we're looking for an end here. Am I correct, Amenta? I think so, yeah. Wait. Couldn't he have ulted the Talia and just killed her? Maybe. I mean, he actually tried. He actually cancelled the Sign ultimate, so yeah, I get it. But I think he did it because he expected the ultimate out of Cyan, and so he used it because obviously Sign ult gives you unstoppable. Sign ult gives you unstoppable. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's correct, right? Even though it sounds atrocious, but it is factually true. No chain over the wall. And this Sylas has a Rabadon's Death Cap and a Void Staff. You know, it's crazy. If you look back at this, the situation where he killed Ezreal, that was definitely less than 3 seconds. That was definitely less than Riot intended it to take for an assassin to kill someone like Ezreal. However, okay, we have to say, like, this looks especially egregious because Gumayushi is going for the absolute Bronze League build. So yeah. Oh, the chain connects. As he will go down. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay
Ты моя тяжелая, такая толстая, огромная я, всегда голодная, хорошая ты моя, я, бейби, ты моя, я. Ты моя тяжелая, такая толстая, огромная я.